Hey everybody, it's Masterath here, and welcome to the Group B, the second group of the Global Trophy Champions 2018. I'm joined alongside, as always,
Sam Elliott 64.
And it's the day after. Yay!
Hurrah!
Than the first one we did. So it's fresh in our minds of the amazing abilities of Russia in Group A.
Yeah, Russia did really well. They performed much better than I think we expected. You know, we expected them to kind of peter out. But I guess the issue that they have, of course, being quite low ranking, is they're in a very competitive continent, whereas like the African teams, not necessarily.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to, you know, see themselves through was quite impressive, and I'm very impressed with how Russia performed.
Yeah, so for people who haven't watched Group A, go watch that first before watching this, unless you fancy a spoiler warning now.
Yep.
But we'll keep it under wraps. Just Russia did really well, so there we go. So it's now time for Group B of the Global Trophy Champions 2018, and here are the teams. We're going straight into it because we explained the rules in the first video. So there we go.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
As always, we're going to kick off with Dud, England.
Yay!
Morons. They finished last. They didn't get any points in Group A. They're awful.
It's almost as if we purposely lost them every single game.
I know. Just to make everything fair. Now that would make sense. Our next team, the lowest ranked team in this group, is number 29, Gabon.
Yeah, Gabon these days are probably a bit more, a bit more known for like their players like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Obviously, back in this era of football, they weren't really that well known. So the fact that they're ranked 29 is actually fairly impressive.
Yeah, very impressive there from Gabon. Our next team is ranked number 23, Morocco. I believe Morocco had a really good run in the last Global Trophy.
I think they did. I don't know. As we mentioned before, my fact sheet's kind of a bit out of date at this point, so need to get that sorted for the next time, maybe.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain Morocco did really well.
Yeah, I want to say they made quarterfinals. I think so, anyway.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. But yeah, they did amazingly well right there against, teams like Italy and the Netherlands that were there. They did really well.
Yeah, they did.
Next team is, and this is the group of death, folks, for people who don't know. At the moment, it's looking pretty, sort of basic, Gabon, Morocco. But the next 6 teams are in the top 16.
Yeah,
in rankings.
They're all fairly closely ranked, and I think it's going to be a really tough effort to see who goes through where.
Yeah, well, next up is ranked number 16, Iran.
Yeah, Iran, not a bad team. I think they're in this year's World Cup, actually, but they're not a bad team at all. They can turn up if they need to. Asia's, not a particularly difficult segment to get out of, so Iran do that fairly regular. However, they're, I don't think they're going to be setting the world alight in this group, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think Iran was also a really good team in the last year's Global Trophy, so...
I can't remember. It was a while ago.
I'm fairly certain, because I think I watched back through that for some reason, just to give myself an extra few views, yeah, and all that rubbish. Our next team is ranked number 15, one above Iran. It's from the Americas, Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia, once again, more famous these days, I'd say, with the players like, you got James Rodriguez, Radamel Falcao, that sort of thing. Obviously, back in this era of football, they weren't massively, successful, but were decent enough.
And speaking of massively successful in the Global Trophy, South Korea.
Former runners-up.
Yep, and former third place as well. So they've been to the Global Trophy semi-finals twice, and even made it to the finals once. They were probably the closest that an Asia team has ever been to being Global Trophy champions. It hasn't happened yet, though.
I'm sure it'll happen one day.
One day it will. Well, if Portugal can bloody win, then so can anybody.
Yep.
But yeah, they are ranked number 13. Next up, ranked number 8. Speaking of the current Global Trophy champions and the current European champions in real life, is Portugal.
I still don't know how they won. They had such an amazing, insane run. I think they went out in the qualifiers in was it in the quarterfinals. They went straight out.
Yeah, I think it was the quarterfinals they did. Yeah.
And then in the trophy itself, they had such an they beat Spain and they beat Italy in the final. And I think who did they beat? Was it Netherlands in the semi-finals as well?
No, Netherlands. I think were on the.
it was
Netherlands lost to Italy.
It was Nigeria then.
No, it was Cameroon. That's what it was.
Oh, Cameroon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a remarkable run. The fact that they were able to make the final and then to go win it, unbelievable. The fact that I know Germany won a Global Trophy before, kind of out of nowhere. Portugal winning theirs was probably arguably more surprising.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe I remember looking back through that final, you did say, I think around the quarterfinals, that Portugal was a dark horse.
Yeah.
And yeah, they went on to win it, taking out some really difficult teams. Speaking of those difficult teams, the team they fought in the final, it's going to be the grudge match, the rematch, with Italy, ranked number 5.
Yeah, Italy have won so many European trophies, and it pains me to know that they've finished second in the Global Trophy outright. I think it's 3 times now.
Yeah, 3 times.
Surely soon they're going to be able to win it.
Going back to older, like a previous thing I did about Masterath was they are the Diamond Storm at this point, I think.
I think so, yeah. I think so. That's fair to say.
And last but not least, Brazil.
Brazil, of course, they've won the Global Trophy twice. However, they weren't even in. Well, they were in the finals, but they eliminated Argentina for the last 2 years, which is fairly impressive when you think about it.
Yeah, and it kind of ruined, really, what could have been a really star-studded Global Trophy finals, that was. We were just missing Argentina and Germany.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, Argentina, we will see them later on in this competition, which is good.
Next week, actually.
Yes, which is good. We do want to see, the Argentines there, because obviously they're a top team, and I think they've won the most matches in history.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
There's a reason they've ranked 1.
Yep. So England, the dud team, let's go into Group B. Top 4 teams go through, but if you have the lowest points out of any team that has gone through, you will be the dud team for the round of 16. So it's always good to get those few extra points. At the moment, it's Russia.
Who's your money on to go through in this group then?
Well, you got to say Brazil, Italy are definitely the 2 big favourites here. Portugal could, but again, they're not looking like the big favourites here.
No.
I'm going to say Brazil, Italy, Portugal, and I'm going to say South Korea.
You reckon Korea will go through? But will they have enough points to beat Russia? It was 30 points, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To beat?
I'm not sure. How many points was that, Sam?
30!
Thank you. Finally, it's gone back to you.
Yes.
Yeah, the problem is this group is the group of death. I mean, there's Portugal, Italy, and Brazil in this group. Plus some really good teams like South Korea, Iran, and Colombia. So, let's just say I don't rank Morocco and Gabon's chances, but we never know.
It could be one of those, kind of weird moments where you like, say, in the last World Cup, Costa Rica made it out of the group, no problem. So, who knows? We shall see.
And I definitely don't fancy England's chances to go through, so there we go. Anyway, our first match is a battle of South America. It's Brazil versus Colombia.
I've got to say Brazil's probably the favourites for this one.
It's a draw on the first. Wow, Colombia hold Brazil to a draw.
That's actually very impressive. Have Colombia won the South America segment?
I don't think so. If they have, they've only done it once. I think Paraguay did it once. But I don't remember Colombia doing it.
Okay. Because we know Mexico have.
Yeah. So next it's England versus Gabon. So Gabon are going to be top of the league at this point, but
yeah,
there's a long way to go for Mr. Aubameyang, I'm afraid, who was probably still in school at this point when this game came out.
True.
How old's Aubameyang at this point?
I think he's 27.
27, yeah, he would be like 10 when this came out. Aubameyang was 10 years old when this came out, and his team Gabon have done amazingly in previous global trophies. Absolutely amazingly.
Yep.
I think they're global trophy finalists a fair few times.
Because especially in more recent years, because they've obviously had, because of the ranking in real life going up, we've actually seen more of them.
Yeah.
So I think it's possibility that could be why they've improved and obviously been able to see them in the Global Trophy in the past. So it's good to see. It's good to see.
So Iran versus Italy is the next match. Gabon currently first, but then again, there's still 2 games left of the first
fixture.
Of the first fixture. So it's Iran versus Italy next. And the win goes to Iran.
Wow.
1-0 win over Italy. So at the moment, the two big teams are not doing well so far. Brazil held to a draw at Colombia. Iran beating Italy. Next, it's it's South Korea versus Morocco.
I've got to say the favourites here are probably South Korea, but I just don't know.
It's another draw.
Interesting.
So at the moment, Iran and Gabon are in the top 2, with South Korea and Morocco. Brazil, Colombia, Portugal, Italy are going out at this point so far.
Well, I think it will change.
Yeah, well, Portugal are sadly just like we've had with
Tunisia, they were playing all their games at the end.
Yeah, so Portugal are going to be on 0 for a while. But next up is Brazil versus England. So Brazil will be able to get 3 points here and go top, but that draw against Colombia could really hurt them.
We shall see. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic, this group, but I don't know how to make this.
Well, the first fixture has been a very big shocker so far. Italy losing to Iran, the draw of Brazil. Portugal could really make an effort here, make a move when they start playing their games, when they can be bothered. Ronaldo's doing his hair or something, probably.
Well, maybe.
Actually, it would have been back then. Figo's doing his hair or something.
Louis Figo was a machine back in the day.
Oh, yeah. He was always one of the most expensive players in the old football management games.
Yep.
Alongside Fat Ronaldo, so... Yeah.
And Zidane.
And Zidane, jeez. And I think Laurent Blanc was still playing back then.
Christian Vieri.
Oh, Vieri was so good as well.
He was a monster back in the day.
So our next match is Colombia versus Gabon. 2nd versus 6th. 2 points between these two teams. And Colombia dominates Gabon with a 5-0 win.
That's a good result for Colombia. Again, I think we've underestimated Colombia. I think they will do all right here.
Yeah. Also, a shout out to a very old player from like my old manager games that I always used to like seeing. It was Ed Dahoui, obviously.
Yes.
Or as I used to know him when I was younger, because I didn't know, Ed DeGooey.
Brilliant.
Good old LMA manager. The first one, may I add. When Jasper Blomqvist was terrible for United. But anyway, next up it's Iran versus South Korea. No more talk about old video games, instead playing an old video game.
Probably go for Iran on this one.
Yeah, Iran have won. So Iran off to a very good start so far.
Starting pretty quickly.
Very strong Iran. Not letting a goal yet, but they've won both their matches 1-0. So it's very close romps home. Next it is Italy versus Morocco.
I'd probably give it to Italy.
It's a draw.
Well,
Italy are not doing well at all. They are bottom.
They're off to a very slow start.
Yeah, they are bottom after 2 fixtures, if you don't count Portugal and England. So, at the moment, they are bottom with 1 point out of 6. Next, it's Brazil versus Gabon. It's 3rd versus 4th. And it's a 6-0 win for Brazil. Gabon just getting crushed now.
In fairness, Brazil, I think Brazil are one of the stronger teams in the tournament, so the fact that they're able to...
Well, they're ranked number 3. They are the highest ranked team in this group. So, yeah. Next match is Colombia versus England. So, Colombia will be getting 3 points here against a very lackluster England side that didn't even show up. Ah, awful.
God damn it.
Awful England. That's so bad. This is obviously this game, even though it was played through the Sven-Göran Eriksson era of England, it's definitely being played, the actual matches are being played through the Steve McLaren era.
Oh, God.
Awful. Ugh.
Lest we forget.
You know a manager's bad when they can't even qualify for a trophy that England usually get to. Pretty convincingly.
It was a tough group, but... Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Owl can do it, why can't McLaren?
Well, there you go.
bloody former Middlesbrough manager. Alright, our next match is Iran versus Morocco. Iran currently undefeated. One of currently 4 teams undefeated, but we won't count Portugal, so 3 undefeated so far. They're against Morocco, who are currently 5th. And Morocco have won by a 1-0 win.
Fair play to Morocco there.
Yep, Iran's lost their losing streak, but Morocco still have a winning streak. Or an undefeated run. They've got 5 points right now after 3 games.
You have to say, you know, the fact that Morocco are doing well as well, this is a very tight group.
Well, it is, especially when Italy are still bottom. But Italy versus South Korea is next, so it's 6th versus 7th. Italy need a win. They both need a win here. 2 big teams, 2 former finalists, and Italy finally get their win. A 2-0 win over South Korea. Finally. Next, it's Brazil versus Iran. 1st versus 3rd. And Brazil win by the slimmest of margins, 1-0.
Yeah, Brazil starting to get into their stride now. I think they'll probably go on to win this group, I'm not going to lie.
Iran's starting to lose their stride a bit. They've every single match they've been in at the moment has been a 1-0. Very boring football here right now. Next up is Colombia versus Italy, and there is an ice cream man outside. Why? The weather's bloody awful.
It's still warm.
Alright, Colombia, Italy. Well, it was a high-scoring game. Colombia 2, Italy 4. That was a nice game for people to watch.
Fair play.
For the people in virtual football land to watch, that was nice.
Good. For the neutral, it was a good game.
Yeah. So, England versus South Korea is next, so South Korea will be getting a few points, which is very nice for them. They do need those points to try and qualify for the round of 16. And definitely the teams, especially if you're not looking like you're going to win the group, you do need to get above that 30. That 30 points. 30 points, that's the benchmark right now. If you're above that, you're automatically through. If you're below that, you're the new benchmark. And Russia go through automatically. And they're not the dud team. So, yeah, Russia on bated breath, I believe, right now.
It has to be said, you know, Russia, we did think, you know, 30 was the benchmark. 30, by the looks of things, seems very attainable.
Yeah, but 30 also looks pretty high as well for certain teams. Like, this group is a very tough group.
Yeah.
And we haven't even seen Portugal in action yet.
Yeah, I imagine Portugal will shoot at the leaderboard. We'll have to wait and see.
Fairly certain they will. Next match is Gabon versus Morocco. It's 5th versus 7th. Very low tie, this, but...
I'll probably give this one to Morocco, I'll have to say.
Yeah, Morocco do need to win this one. They do, 3-0.
Very impressive. Well done.
And now it's the crunch match between the 2 highest-ranking teams in this group, Brazil, Italy. Italy have been able to climb into the top 4. Will they be able to go any higher against Brazil, though, who are currently 1st?
We shall see.
The answer is yes. A 2-1 win for Italy.
Fair play.
Means that the only team that has not lost a game, bar Portugal, because they haven't played yet, is Morocco.
What a team. Morocco do really well so far.
Yep. 2 wins, 2 draws. They're currently 3rd with 8 points so far. With a game in hand over Brazil and Italy. So they could go first with a win.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far, so good for Morocco. Next up is Colombia versus Iran. It's 4th versus 5th. This is a very interesting game for both teams. And it's ended in a draw.
They just haven't really got going, have they?
Yep, and Morocco are going against England. So Morocco will be first.
Wow.
At the end of the 5th fixture here. So, this has been a very who's who, pretty much.
A smorgasbord of who's who's.
I love the word smorgasbord.
It's great, isn't it?
There's only one word that's better than that, and that's rotund. But, you know.
Oof. Yes.
Rotund is a great word. I'm allowed to say it because I'm a fat bastard, so there you go. I ain't gonna lie.
It's self-confidence, man. Come on.
Ah, but it's always self-confidence to be able to laugh at yourself every so often for a joke, so there you go. It's always good. You know, you never want to be one of those people that's just like, you know...
You can't take yourself too seriously, can you?
Yeah, or they can't take a joke or whatever. It's like those people, lob them in the skip. Get in the sack. Our next match is Gabon versus South Korea. So it's 6th versus 7th there. Both teams need a win to try and keep their hopes of being in that top 4 alive, or trying to get that top 4.
Mm.
And it's a draw. That's not good for either team. South Korea have not done well so far.
Yeah, I think, in a knockout format, they do quite well because they can pick off, like, a shock win here or there. In a league format where they have to keep playing, and I think their weaknesses just get exposed quite easily.
Yeah, well, will it be exposed a lot more? It's now Brazil versus South Korea.
I'd probably give this one to Brazil.
Yep, exposed. 3-0.
Easy peasy.
Brazil's
just get
back...
here for a sec. Just get here for a second. Like, I need to tell you something really funny.
Go on. We'll be back after these messages. The Global Trophy Champion of Champions 2018, sponsored by Bubble Mint Wrigley's. I love Bubble Mint Wrigley's.
Why are we sponsored by Wrigley's?
Because I'm holding mine right now. They're Wrigley's. They're great, and that's not my penis.
Wait, we're back to our commercials.
Oh, we're back. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back. Me and Sam were just having a chat about Pokemon Let's Go and about the whole April Fool's thing about it.
It's brilliant. Apparently, for those of you that don't know, it was there was a press release on April Fool's or something or it's leaked or something, and no one believed it, and it actually happened. It's brilliant. I love it.
There you go. Anyway, we'll go back on topic since Sam's commanded me to do the editing to edit that out.
How dare I?
I know. It's my video and everything. You don't even plug it. Plug it, man. Plug it.
Alright,
You have an amazing following on Twitter, for God's sakes. Yeah. I got like 39 people.
Yeah, I've also got more subs than you now. Hey.
Yeah. Not the gaming one though.
No, it's true.
The game one's still whipping your behind
It's true.
for about another year, and then Anyway, carrying on. We have Colombia versus Morocco next. Morocco, bar Portugal, who haven't played yet, the only team that has not lost a game yet.
Fair play to Morocco. They've done really well.
Well, they finally lost their first game against Colombia. 2-0 win.
Well, all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, but Morocco, they're looking pretty good right now. They're looking pretty good. Next is England versus Iran. So Iran will be able to get their 3 points, which is all good.
Hey.
I'm personally hoping that for me editing that, I don't forget like I did earlier for the previous Global Trophy when I was supposed to edit out you going to the toilet, I think. And I didn't, and I forgot.
God damn.
I didn't even notice until Roscoe Whitey put that comment in.
Well, thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross. Also, to everyone else, you have now heard Sam taking a piss, so...
There you go.
There we go. That's going to get into some fetish at some point, isn't it? Just to hear it. It was a very meaty piss. I've got to say, personally.
It was a thick old whiz.
It was a thick old whiz. Oh, if it all wants to hashtag something for Twitter,
there you go.
It's got to be hashtag a thick old whiz. Thick old whiz. That's like hashtag a posh wank. You know, that's a good one as well.
Let's just not even go there.
That's a good one as well. You know,
Where?
It's Cards Against Humanity. It's a good one. The UK version, obviously. Anyway, so Iran beating England. They're still 5th, but they're tied on points with Italy. But Italy do have a game in hand. They're against Gabon, who I'd say has probably been the worst team of this group so far.
They should probably win though. Italy.
Yep, I think it's a record. No, it's not a record, but it's close to the record. It's Gabon 1, Italy 12.
At least they scored.
Well, fair enough. I'll give them that. But I think Germany, New Zealand from last week. I think that was 13-0, wasn't it? And that was the record. Next is Brazil versus Morocco. Morocco had a great start, but now they're waning a little bit. They're still waning. A 3-0 win for Brazil. So Brazil and Italy now the top 2 teams. Just think how things can change.
Well, I think it shows the class of Italy.
Yep, definitely.
The fact that they're not able to come back and come through.
Yeah, well, Italy, I think, Italy have won their last 4 games in the group, so in a row. So, yeah, they're on a tear right now. Next, it's Colombia versus South Korea. South Korea, they're on 5 points. They're 5 behind Iran. They need to win here. Colombia, not safe either. They're third, but not safe. They need to win as well. And it's a win for Colombia. I think South Korea are out of it. They have just not done well at all here, which is a shame. The next match is England versus Italy. So Italy will be getting a vital 3 points to try and keep them in the higher echelons of the of this group right now. At the moment, it's those two against each other until Portugal get their matches going.
Also, it depends. You know, we'll have to see how. You know, we'll have to see how Portugal get on, because obviously, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, well, hopefully they might do better than Tunisia did. I mean, Tunisia could have been like a big team, but they actually finished above. They only finished above New Zealand in their group, so that's a bit of a shame. They were behind like Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Russia. So yeah. Next up is Gabon versus Iran. Iran currently 5th. They need to get back on the winning ways. Gabon pretty much out, I think, at this point. And it is a 3-1 win for Iran, which puts them back in the top 4 above Morocco.
Oh, Morocco. Do you remember when they were doing really well?
Yeah, well, now we're going to fixture number 8 of the group stage, and Brazil have got Portugal. Portugal's first match coming now.
They're going to lose.
Nope, it's a 1-0 win for Portugal. They're doing it again.
Oh, for God's sake, not this shit again.
They're doing
honestly, Portugal are the best team.
Best team in the world.
Who knew?
Yes. Our next match is England versus Colombia. So Colombia will be getting some vital points here.
Yeah, they need to do some points in, don't they, really?
Especially with the rise of initially Dan Giesling would say the rise of Kenya, but in this case I believe it's the rise of Portugal. So yeah, Kenya not in this tournament, sadly. It's a bit of a shame.
Oh, it's one of those things. Well, if you don't do well enough in the main competition, you don't get into this, do you?
Then again, I could also say that it's a shame that Guam aren't in it either. If Guam were in it, the record for the tournament would not be 13-0.
Right, you need like something like Vietnam, or not even Vietnam, but like I don't know.
Oh no, it'd be Guam.
San Marino.
Guam and Macau are two of the teams that I'm
How about
well versed in that.
Yeah, something from Oceania against Argentina. I reckon that'd be pretty good.
Oh yeah, well, something like Vanuatu or American Samoa.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that'll do. All right, our next match is Iran versus Gabon. That win for Colombia puts them top of the table.
Colombia
at the moment.
Dark horses.
Iran beat Gabon to stay in the top 4. Next up, it's Italy versus South Korea. If South Korea can beat Italy, Colombia stay first.
That's amazing.
Nope, Italy wins 7-0.
South Korea's struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling really bad right now.
Which is a shame, because they've always been fairly consistent in the trophy itself. So.
Yep. Next up is Colombia versus Portugal.
Kids too.
And it's a 4-1 win for Portugal. Dominant.
Portugal are on form.
Yeah. Next up is going to be England versus Brazil. I'm guessing a Ronaldinho pass free kick is going to get past David Seaman, I think. That's what's going to happen. Definitely. I like the way that how old would I have been for that? I think I would have been 9? 9 when the World Cup happened. And there was only 2 of us that were supporting Brazil. I was one of them. At 9. I supported Brazil until my teen years, and then I started supporting England. And I wish I still supported Brazil. Not a glory hunter or anything, but, you know.
No, not at all.
They've done a lot better, you know, bar the Germany match, but, you know.
That match, good God, I remember watching that. Fun story. This is a fun story for YouTube. I went to the toilet. It was 1-0. I went upstairs, went to the toilet. I came back downstairs. It was 5-0.
Yeah. I was at work at the time. I was at work at the time, and I was just watching on like the television close to the till. That's what I was doing. I didn't get anything done.
No, I imagine you wouldn't.
It's World Cup. What'd you expect? But yeah, so Brazil's win puts them above Colombia. They're on joint points with Italy, but Italy do have a game in hand, and that game in hand is against Gabon.
There you go.
It's only a 3-0 win for Italy, so...
It's not terrible.
Yeah, so Italy currently ahead by 3 points in the group, and now the top 4 are starting... It's starting to get... They're starting to get further away from the rest of the field, bar Portugal, who have, like, loads of games in hand.
Yeah, of course.
But at the moment, it's Italy, Brazil, Colombia, and Iran who are in the top 4.
Well, so far, I think the surprise of the group have been Iran and Colombia. I think they've both been really strong.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep. Well, to end off the first bit of the second half of the group stage, it's going to be South Korea versus Iran. So, a very important match for Iran here.
Yep.
But they've fallen to South Korea.
Mad.
South Korea get the win. Next up is England, Portugal. So, you know, we're going to have a goal not go in from Sol Campbell. We're going to have Erzmeyer getting death threats. We're going to have Ronaldo winking. So, yeah. I know my bad England football history. Wait till we go against Argentina, though. In the next group. We're going to have a hand of God. We're going to have David Beckham kicking a guy. We're going to have all this. Was that against Argentina? That was, wasn't it?
It was against Argentina. And then, do you know who it was?
Who?
I think it was Mauricio Pochettino, wasn't it?
Oh, right, great. It was all Pochi.
Yeah. No, you know.
So, with a win for Portugal over England, no surprise there. When was the last time we actually beat Portugal in an official tournament?
I have no idea. Because we played them twice, didn't we? We played them in Euro 2004 and we played them in the 2006 World Cup.
Yeah, and we lost both times due to bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was definitely bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm still adamant on that. The first one was definitely bullshit. Second one, I can understand, kind of, but yeah, first one, crap. Anyway, next is Colombia versus Brazil. It's third versus second here. If Colombia beat Brazil, they will go above them, which is pretty nice for them.
Colombia have been really strong.
Yeah, it's ended in a draw, which now gives Iran a chance to jump Colombia and be a point behind Brazil. This is Iran.
This is crazy. Iran.
Yeah. Next up, South Korea versus Gabon again. And it's a 2-1 win for South Korea. They've won 2 in a row.
Hey, nice.
Next up is Italy versus Iran. A very important match for both teams. Italy, if they win, go 5 ahead of second. Which they do. Italy running away with it now. 5 points ahead of Brazil.
Wow. Italy has been really turned up now. You know, they started quite poorly.
Very poorly.
But they're now in a position where they're the strongest team, I think.
Yep. Next up is Gabon versus Portugal. Portugal yet to drop a point yet. They're yet to drop a point, and they still have not dropped a point. A 4-0 win puts them into 5th with 6 games in hand over Iran and only 4 points behind. Portugal are gonna start dominating.
Could Portugal be the ones that dominate the group after all that?
You never know. Next up is Iran versus Brazil. 2nd versus 4th. Iran need to win to try and keep Portugal at bay here.
Yep.
But it's a 4-1 win for Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil, I think, just too strong.
Yeah, it's actually 2 battles in the top 4. We had Iran versus Brazil, which was 4th versus 2nd. And now we got 1st versus 3rd in Italy versus Colombia.
Oh.
Which has ended in a 2-0 win for Italy, who are still 5 ahead. But they're now 12 points ahead of 4th. I think Italy are safely through here.
Fair play.
Next up, it's South Korea versus England. So South Korea, they're on the rise.
Woo!
I think it's a bit late, but they're on the rise, and that's all that matters.
You know, the thing is, you know, they might go out, but as long as they put in a good performance, I think they won't mind that.
I don't mind that at all. So I'm just looking at my phone. It's over on the side next to my games. And there's just a bunch... My character in Pokemon Go is just randomly walking for no reason. I'm there going, could have done that when I was asleep, you know. Give me some extra egg mileage.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Also, I'm level 37 now, so I'm in the higher regions of Pokemon Go players. And got myself an Alolan Exeggutor earlier today.
Woo!
The 30th of May, if people want to know. So, yeah. And I got 10k egg on the go, so that's all nice. Everyone likes the random chat while England's playing their rubbish game, so...
Exactly. Our defeats.
Yes. Next up is Iran. Well, actually, no. Have we actually gone against South Korea? If so, it hasn't been for a while.
I don't remember us playing South Korea for a long time.
Oh, there you go. So, actually, South Korea are now only 2 points behind Iran and 4 behind Colombia. South Korea could
sneak in.
They could sneak in here, but Portugal are on the rise here. They've got Iran next.
Well, that's the thing. They can catch. They need to overhaul both of them, basically, don't they?
Yeah, at least at this point. Next up is Iran versus Portugal. So a Portugal win could help out South Korea.
Yep.
It is a win for Portugal. 4-0. South Korea dropped the 6.
Portugal has really dominated this, haven't they? They've played all their games together. They've really done a good job.
But here's the thing. Iran dropped points, and that's all that South Korea care about. Next up, it's Gabon versus Brazil. I think I'm fairly certain where this is going to go. Yep, it's a 6-0 win for Brazil. Gabon suffer their 10th defeat in the Global Trophy Champions so far in 12 games.
I mean, I think, Italy and Brazil are fairly certainly through at this point. I think Portugal will overtake Colombia and Iran. And I think it's a 3-way fight between those 3 teams, which we kind of expected.
Well, you've got Morocco as well. Morocco have only played 7 games, and everyone else played like 11 or 12.
So Morocco could feature as well. Those 4 could be for that final spot. We did say it was going to be the group of death.
Yep.
Those 4 teams could really be a difficult fight between the two.
Yeah, well, speaking of 2 of those 4, it's South Korea versus Colombia next. Must win for both teams. And it's a draw.
Doesn't really help either of them, does it? Well,
No.
I suppose it does help Colombia a little bit, but they need to be ahead of Iran.
Yeah.
Crucially.
Next up it is Italy versus England. So Italy are going to stay 5 points ahead of of Brazil here. So Italy have done really well so far in this league.
Mm-hmm. And in fairness to them, I think the last time we played was it Euro 2012?
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
I want to say Euro 2012 when because we lost on penalties, didn't we?
Oh, that's not surprising.
There's a shocker.
There's a shock. England lose on penalties? Nah.
I'm sure it was. There was someone who he chipped Joe Hart, didn't he? I'm sure it was.
Why is it everyone chips England keepers?
Yeah, he chipped the penalty in it. Apparently,
he
did
run
it to
out.
bring him down a few pegs.
David Seaman now dandruff boy, who ain't going to this year's World Cup. So.
Well, no, because he's not as good as the other 3.
No, he ain't. All right, so a win there for Italy. And they've got Portugal next, so...
Crunch match.
It's a very crunch match. And it goes to Italy, 3-2. Very close match.
Revenge for the final, maybe.
Yep. Next up, it's South Korea versus Brazil, and my egg is hatching. My 10k egg, lovely. I'm not spoofing, it's just, I don't know, the signal here is a bit shit. But anyway, it's South Korea versus Brazil. This is a big match for South Korea. Portugal slipped up. South Korea need to get on them now. And that's ended in a draw.
Do you know what? That's a point gained rather than a point lost, I'd say, for South Korea. They've done really well there.
Yep, South Korea go above Portugal again, but Portugal do have like 7 games in hand. But they are they're a point closer to Iran and Colombia, and that's all that matters. Speaking of Colombia, they're going to get 3 points here, I think, against Gabon. Yep, a 2-0 win. And Iran are going to get 3 points because they're playing England.
It's bubbling up quite nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Italy and Brazil just flying away with it right now. I think they're pretty safe at this point. But then you got Portugal rising up the ranks. We've got Morocco's matches still to go, so...
Well, the question is, how close are they to 30 points?
They're getting there. Both Colombia and Iran are getting there. But we're getting close to the end, so it might not be enough.
We shall see. Obviously... and obviously you've got South Korea in there too. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I think if it's like South Korea or Morocco, they're probably going to be the dud team. They'll have less points than Russia at the moment because they're not doing so good. They're not doing as good as Iran and Colombia. But anyway, so yeah, Colombia are on 22 right now, but with only 3 games to go. Next up, it's South Korea versus Portugal. Very big crunch match this.
Yep.
The win does go to Portugal, which I do believe has taken South Korea out of it. Gabon out ages ago.
Yeah,
but I think that's pretty much taken South Korea out of it.
Yep.
Next up, it's Italy versus Brazil. Italy, 7 points clear of Brazil. Can they make it 10? They can make it 10. 37 points for Italy.
What did France get? Was it 44?
Spain, yeah, they got 44.
Spain got 44,
yeah.
sorry. Spain got 44. Well, this is dominant as well from Italy. They've done a really good job.
Yep. The highest they can get at the moment is 43.
So they can't quite match it, but it's still a good performance.
Yep. Next up is Iran versus Colombia. It's 3rd versus 4th. It's a very important match, this, for both teams.
Yep, whoever wins this is probably going to go through.
It's a draw.
Oh.
Colombia
Wow.
stay 3 points ahead of Iran.
It's important for them, but obviously you have to remember, they also have to make 30 points.
Yeah, well, if you finish 3rd and you don't make 30 points, at least the one that finishes 4th will be lower down and lower points than you. So,
Yeah,
really, finishing that top 3 is important just as much as getting over 30
I think
points.
Portugal will catch Colombia.
Yes, but will Morocco is the thing. Morocco still have over half their games to go. Gabon's playing England, so that's some consolation points, I guess, for Gabon. They're at the moment on the same amount of points of New Zealand.
Oh, really? So they've only got 6. They're only going to end up with 6 points.
They've only got 7 points so far.
Brilliant. I love it.
So Gabon not doing well either, which is a bit of a shame.
You know, sometimes these things just happen, don't they? So.
Yeah, well, Gabon are the lowest ranked team in this group, so...
Kind of to be expected.
Yep. Next up is Morocco, finally playing their matches now. They're playing Portugal next. And the win goes to Morocco.
Wow, big result for them.
Yeah, Morocco now only 4 behind Portugal. They've played the same amount of games. Next up is Morocco versus Brazil.
They need to win Morocco, really, don't they?
It's ended in a draw.
Morocco are on a mad one.
Yes. Portugal play Colombia now.
This is a crunch match as well.
And Portugal win 1-0. They're in the top 4 now, above Iran.
Well, there you go. Iran's struggling now.
Yeah. Portugal versus Brazil is next. This is Brazil's last game. So Italy are definitely, at least I think so, they're definitely going to win the group. Unless Portugal can just win all their next games. Well, Brazil have beaten Portugal.
There you go. So Brazil, I think, good effort from Brazil. They've done what they need to do. They've qualified. They'll be through the knockout stages.
Yep, they've finished on 31 points so far, and I think they are pretty solid in at least 3rd, but probably 2nd. Next, it's Morocco versus Colombia. Very important match for both teams. Colombia hanging on, trying to keep Portugal at bay. And Morocco win 5-2.
That's a huge result for Morocco.
Yeah, Colombia miss points, and that's their last match, so they're going to finish on 23. It's not looking good for Colombia now.
Nope, and Russia's 30, all of a sudden looking very good.
Yep, Iran can still catch them.
There you go.
Iran can still catch Colombia and take that 4th spot. If Portugal are going to go above Colombia, Morocco are also very close. They are going to get an extra 3 points here because they're against England.
It's looking quite good. Fourth place. Obviously, Russia feeling very good about things right now because obviously they've got the secured 30. If obviously this is quite a low-scoring group relatively, will we see? Will we see that group? Struggle to make 30 points and therefore surrender the dud team to them.
Well, at the moment, Russia's looking pretty solid that they're going to be in the Global Trophy round of 16, and they're going to be able to compete and not be the duds. So, yeah, at the moment, Russia's looking really good. That 30 points is looking very, very close, very far away for a lot of the teams. Anyway, with a win there for Morocco over England, Morocco go up to 5th. Joint points with Portugal, but Portugal have a game in hand against Gabon, which they do win, but it's only a 1-0 win.
Fair play to Gabon there.
Yeah, Colombia not looking good now. Portugal go above Colombia with that win. Colombia need. Colombia played all their games. They need for Morocco to seriously drop points.
Yeah, otherwise they're out anyway.
Yeah, Morocco have 5 games left. If they get 2 draws, if they get 3 draws, Colombia are out.
There you go. But as well as that, Morocco need to score points. They need to get to 30 points at least.
They do. Or pass Portugal.
Yep.
Which is going to be difficult to do since one of Portugal's last few matches are against England.
There you go.
So that's a free 3 points there for Portugal. That's a tough sentence to say. It's a free 3 points. Not nice. Anyway,
Nice.
yes, another win there for Portugal puts them into the top 3 right now. So they're looking very, very strong. Yeah, they're actually only 4 points behind Brazil with 4 games to go for Portugal there.
So Portugal probably could catch Brazil.
They could catch Brazil. Whether they catch Italy, though, no, I don't think they can catch Italy. All Italy need to do is win one more of their 2 games. And they will be the champions, and they'll be the winners of the group. It's Morocco versus Gabon. That's an easy 3 points for Morocco. 5-0 win.
So that's Colombia done, isn't
That's
it?
Colombia out of it.
There you go. So
Iran can still catch Morocco, though. Iran need to beat Morocco here to have a chance. They do beat Morocco.
Well, there you go.
Iran are hanging on.
So could Iran survive? I don't think it'll be enough. I still think they need to do more.
They do at the moment. Next is Portugal versus Italy.
Chance?
Yep. It's a win for Italy. Italy now... Portugal cannot catch Italy. Italy are going to be the winners of the group. A 2-1 win.
Fair play to them. They've done what they needed to do. They've gone through.
Yep.
And of course, in a group of 2 champions in it, the one that didn't, they're not champions themselves, and they've gone through as winners. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. Next is Portugal versus Iran. Iran need to win this. A draw will not be enough for Iran. Unless Morocco just start losing by big goal margins.
A bomb. Yeah.
It's a 5-0 win for Portugal. Iran are out. So the top 4 teams that are going through will be Italy, Brazil, Portugal, and Morocco.
But will Morocco score enough points?
Yeah, Morocco, ranked 23, have gone through. Iran, Colombia, South Korea, all ranked higher than them, all out.
There you go.
Next up is Morocco versus Italy.
Morocco need to win now.
It's a draw. I think they'll take that draw, Morocco.
It's another point. So how many points are they on?
They're on 25 with 2 games left.
So they need to win both of them.
Portugal have hit the 30 mark.
There you go.
Morocco versus South Korea is next.
Morocco need to win, otherwise they are the done team guaranteed.
It's a win for South Korea.
So there you go. They won't be able to catch Russia's 30 points. Russia breathed a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, Morocco are going to finish 4th. Portugal now versus South Korea. And it's a draw. So South Korea finishing on 20 points in their league. Fair play to them.
So not enough.
Yep. Portugal on 31 now, on the same amount of points as Brazil, the same amount of goal difference, but Portugal scored 1 more goal.
So Portugal are second in the group.
At the moment, but we have 1 match to go, which is Portugal versus Morocco. Morocco need to win this to try and get that point tally a bit higher for the next group of teams. But it ends with a 3-1 win for Portugal, who solidify their 2nd place on 34 points. Morocco, 25 points for Morocco.
See, it's a good total, but Russia with 30, very happy with that. They're through now. They know they're going to be competing at least in the Global Trophy last 16, so that's good news for them. What about Italy, though? Italy, in the end, running away with it.
Yeah, 41 points for Italy, 7 ahead of Portugal, 10 ahead of Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil, surprisingly poor.
Yeah,
I was
very
expecting
poor.
more from them.
So, the rankings for this group go. In 8th place with 7 points is Gabon. Very bad run from them. But everyone else got over 20 points. Or 20 points or over. That's why it was probably so close.
Yeah.
In points. 7th with 20, South Korea.
Fair play to that. I mean, they started poorly, and I think that the fact that they recovered fairly well towards the end is commendable. I think we were expecting a bit more from South Korea, though, considering they're the highest ranked Asian team, I think, bar Australia. So,
yeah,
a bit disappointing. But
it was very close to them. But they only finished 5 points behind 4th.
Yeah, in 7th. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was very close. 6th with 23 is Iran.
I think they were probably the best performing team throughout, really, but they were just unlucky that they got caught out by Portugal steaming through, and in the end, Morocco steaming through as well.
Yeah. Fifth, also with 23, is Colombia.
They had a good run as well. Impressive early on. They just kind of petered out when the quality of the Italies and Brazil started to come through. So, yeah, one of those things.
Yep. And going through, maybe the dud team because their score is only 25, but fourth place is Morocco.
Yeah, as I say, because those 4 teams were so closely competitive, there was no real way to get a big lead. Obviously, I think Russia was quite a way ahead of 5th place in the
yeah, they were 9 points ahead.
Yeah, so they had a bigger buffer to build. Who knows if they'll be the dud team? I think Morocco can be happy that they're very the top 16 at least. I think that's a great effort from them, considering they're ranked 23. Fair play to them, they've done a good job.
Yeah. Third place with 31 points is Brazil. Comfortably through.
Comfortably through, but the 2-time champions, the fact that they scored 31 points and 4th place in the first group scored 30, you get the idea. They didn't really perform that well, Brazil. I think they'll be a bit disappointed by that.
Yeah, well, they were the highest ranked team in this group, and they finished 3rd behind one of them. 2nd place, once again, surprising as always, with 34 points, the current Global Trophy Champions, Portugal.
They did what they needed to do, didn't they? They turned up and they scored a lot of goals. They scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, 39 goals scored for Portugal. They only lost 4 games, and they finished on 34. But first, with 41 points, they scored 50 goals altogether. Italy.
Surely, if Italy go and win the champions, that would be quite the story, wouldn't it?
What, a team that's not a Global Trophy champion winning the Champion of Champions? That would be... Ugh. Might have to change
strange.
the name. It's like the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're not all champions, damn it!
Yep.
Might as just call it the top
well,
few
well,
league.
champions, weren't they?
You might as just call it the top few league.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, guys, that is going to be it from this week of the Global Trophy Champions, the 2nd group. So the teams currently going through: Italy, Portugal, Brazil, and Morocco. They'll be joined by Spain, Germany, Nigeria, and Russia.
Yep, and I think next week we've got the return of Argentina, who obviously struggled in the last 2 global trophies, but not made the finals for the last 2 years. So it'd be nice to see a bit more of them. I think they're going to be very strong in this competition, and it wouldn't surprise if they go and win the whole thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, they're the top-ranked team, but in that group is also ranked 6 Cameroon, ranked 9 Mexico, ranked 14 South Africa, ranked 20 Japan, ranked 25 the USA, ranked 28 Croatia, ranked 31 India, and dud.
Which is England.
Of course, of course.
We shall
And
see
England
what
finished
happens
bottom
next
again. Jeez, how bad are they?
We'll see how they get on next week.
Yep, we'll see you next week for more Global Trophy action with Group C.
See you later.
See ya.